Hi everyone, it's John from Music Generation here. Hope you're all keeping really well. So in today's lesson we're going to be learning a song called Big Yellow Taxi by Joni Mitchell. It's a really cool song. There are going to be 3 parts to this lesson. In part 1 I'm going to show you the chords and the chord progression. Then in part 2 I'm going to show you a new strumming pattern. And then in part 3 we're going to finish it off with a play along. So if you're all tuned up and ready to go, let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is have a look at the chords we're going to be using. So there are only 4 chords in this song, some familiar, some new. So the first chord we'll take a look at is the D major chord, the D chord. So we're going to start by taking our index finger and putting it on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Then take your middle finger, put it underneath it in the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Then your ring finger underneath that in the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. So all our fingers are in a row here. They're all in the 2nd fret. Make sure they don't slip out. And we'll give that a strum. So that's our D chord. Now we're going to take a look at the next chord, which is F sharp minor. And this is likely going to be a new chord for you. So the F sharp minor is kind of similar to D. There's only one note that's different, but we're going to have to move our fingers around. So we're going to put our middle finger up on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Then you're going to take your index finger and put it in the 1st fret of the 3rd string. And then take your ring finger and put it in the 2nd fret of the 2nd string. And that's our F sharp minor. So you might notice it looks a lot like the G7 shape, but just brought up a string each. So that's F sharp minor. And then the next chord is A major. So if you're still making your F sharp minor shape, all you have to do to make A major is take off your ring finger. Now we have A major. So it's middle finger, 2nd fret of the 4th string, index finger, 1st fret of the 3rd string. Then our last chord then is G major. So we take our index finger, put it in the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Then our middle finger goes down in the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Then our ring finger goes in the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And that's our G major. So let's just get warmed up and we'll have a play through those chords. So starting back on D, I'm going to count it out and we're going to strum on beats 1 and 3. So we'll be going D, F sharp minor, A, G. And we'll repeat that again. So starting on D, here we go. I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. F sharp minor, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. Back to D, 2, 3, 4. F sharp minor, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. So those are the 4 chords we're going to be using. But we won't be playing them in that order. We'll be playing them in different orders for different parts of the song. So I'll start by showing you the intro progression. Really simple. We're just playing the D chord for 4 bars. So let's just get ourselves extra warmed up and we'll have a go at that. So I'm going to count us in. We'll go a little bit quicker this time. Again, strumming on beats 1 and 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's fairly straightforward. So next I'll show you the verse progression. So after we play the intro, we're going to be switching to G, which is the first chord of our verse progression. So we see here we have 4 bars, 2 bars of G and 2 bars of D. The second 4 bars of the verse progression then go G for 1 bar, A for 1 bar, and then D for 2 bars. So let's give a go at playing through the verse progression. We'll take it nice and easy, get our fingers used to making those chord changes. So starting on G, I'm going to count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4, and D, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. So that's the progression for the verses. Now we'll take a look at the progression for the choruses. So the last chord we played in the verse is D, and the first chord we play in the chorus is D. So we stay on D for 1 bar, then we move to F sharp minor for a bar, G for a bar, and then we strum G again, but only for half a bar because we move to D again there. So for the first 3 bars, we only strum each chord once, and we let them ring out for 4 beats. F sharp minor, G, and then the last bar, it's a little bit quicker. We go G, 2, D, 2. So it's a quick change, so it might take some time to get used to going from G to D that quickly. And then the second 4 bars of the chorus are G for a bar, A for a bar, and then D for 2 bars. So it's actually the same progression as the last 4 bars of the verse progression. But after we play these chords, G, A, and D for 2 bars at the end, we actually hold on to D then for an extra 2 bars before we go back to our verse. So let's give a go at playing the chorus progression there. We'll go nice and slow, and we're going to start on the D chord. And for the first 3 bars, we're only strumming the chords once. Then for the 4th bar, we're going G, 2, D, 2. And then for the second 4 bars, we're back to strumming on the 1 and the 3. So fingers on D, I'm going to count this in. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. F sharp minor, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, D, 2. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. So that's the chorus progression then. So let's try put the two together. So we're going to play through the verse and then go straight into the chorus. So let's give it a go. So we're going back to G now. That's the start of our verse. And I'm going to count this in. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, and our chorus D, 2, 3, 4. F sharp minor, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, D, 2. G, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. So there we have it. Those are the two main progressions in the song. The only parts where it changes up a bit are the intro, where we're only holding the D chord for 4 bars, and then towards the end of the song, we actually repeat the chorus a few times. So the progression stays mostly the same, but we just repeat it through. So always keep in mind that you can pause the video at any point, but also you can replay any parts of the video if you want to brush up on the chords or the verse progression or the chorus progression. Just skip back and play along with me again. But when you're ready, we're going to move on ahead to the strumming pattern, where we'll learn a different way to strum the chords to this song. But do make sure before you move on to that you're comfortable moving between the chords. So when you're ready, we'll move on to part 2. Now I'm going to show you a new strumming pattern to learn. This strumming pattern is typically called down, down, up, down, up. And the thing about this chord strumming pattern is that it's all in the feeling. Okay, so I will be breaking it down strum by strum and counting out the beats. But at the end of the day, it's all about getting the groove going with your wrist. So one of the best ways to think about this pattern is by thinking down, down, up, down, up. But you're saying it with a rhythm. So they're not equally spaced apart like our strums usually are. So we're not going down, down, up, down, up. It has a bit of a swing in it. It goes down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. So you might just be able to listen and play along and speak it out loud as well. Maybe you need to take it a bit slower, but that's what the strumming pattern sounds like. So we'll break it down bit by bit now. So we're going to take it really slow now. So I'm going to be doing this on the D chord. If you'd like, you can just focus it on your right hand. You don't have to play a chord, but if you'd like to join in, I'll be doing it on the D chord. So I'm going to count out 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're going to take it one strum at a time and we'll build it up strum by strum. So we'll just start on the first beat. So make sure to follow along the slides on the screen and only strum the dark arrows. So the really faint arrows, they're showing you what are going to be there, but we're not going to strum those until they're filled in. So we're just going to start with a down strum on the first beat. So I'm going to count it out, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to strum on 1 and 2, so it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So join in with me. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, so next up we have an up strum on an in-between beat, our and beat. So to and, we have an up strum, to and. So all the up strums in this strumming pattern will be on those in-between beats, those and beats. It's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, 3 and 4. Okay, so let's try that together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so we'll move on to the next part then, which sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, 3 Okay, so now it's getting a little bit tricky. This is where the kind of swing comes into it. Down, down, up, down, up. We're always very used to playing something on the third beat. Usually no matter what strumming pattern we're playing, or even if we're strumming only on beats 1 and 3 or every beat, we're always used to that third beat. So this might feel a little bit strange. So if we count it out, it'll be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So try play along with me now. I'll count us back in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, 3, up, 4 and. Alright, so if you're ready, we'll move on to the next part then. We're nearly finished it now. It sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, 3, up, down and. So let's try that together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, 3, up, down and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, so now to finish it out, we have our full down, up, down, up, and it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, 3, up, down and. So let's try that together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Alright, so let's try it again now, the full strumming pattern, just on the D chord, or no chord if you're choosing not to use a chord, and we'll do just a small little bit faster, and instead of counting out the numbers, we're going to say down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So let's try playing it again, and we're going to say down, up, down, up, and we'll go a little bit quicker. So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, 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 down, up. Okay, so the more you do it, the more comfortable your wrist gets. So you want it to be nice and loose. You put a bit of a flick in your finger when you're strumming down, while you're turning your wrist, all gentle, all smooth, nothing should be stiff. And then on the way back up, you're bringing your wrist back up and you put a little bit of a flick in your finger as well. So you do those two things at the same time. You're turning your wrist and you're flicking your finger. Because we don't only want to be doing one of those things at a time. If we only use our wrist and keep a stiff finger, this is what we get. Very much like a robot. And same thing, if we keep our wrist stiff and only move our finger, this is what we get. So you need to use both of those actions and keep practicing it so that it's all loose and comfortable. Nothing should be tense. It's a really, really nice strumming pattern when you get used to it. And it's one you can also apply to almost any other song you've learned or will learn. So the next and final step then is to play our strumming pattern with our chord changes and our chord progression. So let's give it a go for the verse progression. So we're going to go back to our G chord and keep in mind that we change the chord on the first beat of each bar. So if we're say changing from G to A, it'll sound like this. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's a strong downbeat on the first beat. So back to our G chord, and we'll play through the verse progression using our strumming pattern. So here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and D and 2 and 3 and 4 and D and 2 and 3 and 4 and G and 2 and 3 and 4 and A and 2 and 3 and 4 and D and 2 and 3 and 4 and D and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's a bit slower than the speed we're going to be playing for the play along video. So let's practice that at a little bit of a quicker speed. So back to our G chord. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So there you have it. That's our strumming pattern, and don't worry if that was a bit too fast for you there at the end. Like we always do, anytime we want to get faster at something, we always have to start slow and then speed it up a little bit, and before you know it then, with enough practice, you'll be able to play it super fast. It's always all in the practice. So if you feel like you've practiced enough, we're going to move on to part 3 now and have our play along. So you choose which way you want to play it. In the play along, I'll be doing the down, down, up, up, down, up. But if you just want to strum on the 1 and the 3, or maybe you want to strum on every beat, or maybe you want to take it really easy and just strum each chord once. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's completely up to you how you want to play along. But when you're ready, we're going to have that play along now. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot with a pink hotel, a boutique and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Shoo, bop, 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 shoo, bop, 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 bop. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum, and it charged all the people $1.50 just to see them. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Shoo, bop, 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 shoo, bop, 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 bop. Hey farmer, farmer, put away your DDT now. Give me spots on my apples, but leave me the birds and the bees. Please, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Shoo, bop, 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 shoo, bop, 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 bop. Late last night, I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took away my old man. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Shoo, bop, 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 shoo, bop, 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 bop. I said, don't it it always seems to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Shoo, pop, 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 shoo, pop, 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 pop. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot. Shoo, pop, 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 shoo, pop, 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 pop. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot.